versus voting, Theo walked in the door literally when it was supposed to start, so it would have been 6 tonight. He walked in and someone had just canceled. And I said, hey man, any chance you want to just jump in? And I don't remember what it was, prosecute, defend, whatever it was. And he did it and he blew us all away. Now I've set him up to be amazing. That's the worst thing that you can do before someone comes on stage. But I want to let you know that he's done this before and we really appreciate him and his perspective. And if you like what he does, you can check out a group he runs called Shop Talk Live, which is a wonderful group here in Denver. And also, you can leave here afterwards and go to his poetry night, the Renaissance Poetry Night in Aurora. Ladies and gentlemen, defending masculinity, Theo Wilson.
Well, quite the dubious honor that I have today. Defend something that is pretty much wholesale panned by this group, but I'll try. To defend masculinity in a way also is to defend the binary in a weird way. The binary as it stands is indefensible as a hierarchy. But perhaps it can be defined better as a harmony. That case may have something to it. And so before we throw the binary out with the bathwater, I would just like to say that there is a possibility that it is inherent in the physical universe. That as soon as you have a foreground, you have a background. That if the night sky was all white, we could not see the stars. As soon as there's an up, there's a down. As soon as there's an in, there's an out. As soon as there's a left, and there's a right. And non-binary people are subject to that too. Non-binary people have brains. A brain has a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere. This is a binary. Left and right eye, left and right hand. These nuts are a binary. Speaking of these nuts, I lost a debate viciously to a feminist one night. I had no leg to stand on. And after I understood that I am a heterosexist, misogynist, patriarchal pig, she demanded that I walk her to her car. And there was this moment where I almost said something and realized the futility of speaking. But the understanding that these secondary sex characteristics that I have, these broad shoulders, this bassy voice, wards off predators. And men, we have been predators. 90% of the people who have ever killed someone have been men. That's a huge statistic. What's also not mentioned in that statistic is that most of the people who have ever been killed have been men as well. This thing that we have called war, where we, the habitual apex predator of this planet, greater than the saber-tooth, greater than the tyrannosaur, greater than the wolf, have made a habit of killing what we can control. But this habit was developed when we ourselves could be killed. And that there was a time when these gender roles that we hate so much, this division of labor, was the cause of the gender roles. And the crux of it was who can do work while she is 9 months pregnant? Who can defend the tribe to stop her from becoming a 2-for-1 meal for the hyenas? You need somebody kind of fast. You need somebody kind of strong. You need somebody kind of commanding. And we have had 200,000 years of this evolution. In the last 50 years, we want to toss it all away. My relationship with masculinity has been strained as a black man. To be a masculine black man was an act of revolution in my family. I'm the first man in 100 years in my bloodline not to have killed another man by the age of 20. Being an artist born into that family made me feminine in their eyes. And here I go adjusting to this, and I hated them for it until I understood why. Because when my grandfather got to this country from Jamaica, there was no roadmap for a dark-skinned black man in the 30s. You had to be what you had to be, and because of his aggression, no one touched my aunt. No one touched his wife. The hardest gangsters in Brooklyn knew that to touch one of the Wilsons was to be pay a price from Theobald that nobody is willing to dish out. And we hurt for that. I hurt for that. And most people don't give a shit. That's par for the course. And people who know that people don't care how they feel end up killing people. And we end up expressing it. I protest to you today that the first victims of patriarchy are the baby boys broken to bearing, who grow up to be men who don't know how to cry without flailing their fists. And when that dam in our chest finally busts, we do drown women and children first. And I'm open to changing the narrative of it. But perhaps the fastest way to a man's heart is to acknowledge that he has one in the first place. And that healthy masculinity, at the end of the day, when we get it right, just may be a girl's and the world's best friend. Thank you.